Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the world's greatest news and reviews.
Giving you opinions about nerd stuff is our superpower.
I'm Captain Mal.
I'm Hailstorm.
And I'm Weapon 2, folks. There's a lot of people out there that the virus has homebound. So I want you to sit back, enjoy the podcast, and turn your self-quarantined frown upside down.
Nice. That's right. In these troubling times, we have it. We're going to give you awesome content to listen to and to watch. Thank you for joining us on episode 15 of the world's greatest podcast.
That's right. It's amazing. It's amazing, folks.
Yeah, we're making such progress now. And if you're watching on the YouTubes, your eyes did not deceive you. We are joined by another special guest. Hello, how you doing? Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Alias.
Alias, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Are you excited?
I'm very excited.
You look nervous.
Maybe a touch.
So Alias, is that, dare I say, a Jessica Jones reference?
Oh, absolutely.
Figured it out. I'm the world's greatest detective. So, in honor of Alias being here, we are going to give you our top 5 most badass female characters in movies and or TV shows. We're actually also going to give you some news stories, play a little bit of game of this or that. But first, Weapon 2. What do we got going on?
Well, are we going to be talking about our wonderful Patreons?
Is that how we're starting the show?
I don't know. Is that how we're starting?
I think we are. Yes.
Well, we want to tell everybody that we actually have some Patreons who have signed up for actually the top level True Believer.
Yes.
We appreciate them so much. We want to give them a shout out for being Patreons. That's Dan Coles.
Yeah.
Amanda LaCroix. And Michael Wright.
Michael Wright.
Woohoo.
You guys are awesome.
So
Thank you for helping us out and participating and be part of this.
I want to say when Hailstorms put together the Patreons, thank you, by the way, bang up job.
My pleasure.
Part of me was just like, no one's gonna give us money. Who the fuck are we kidding? And I like that the first 3 Patreons skip the first 2 levels because they're like, we're way too awesome for this nonsense, and go straight to giving us, like, they're paying more for us than for Disney Plus. And
thanks.
Hey.
Yes. That makes me feel special.
I'm not saying we're better than Disney Plus, but you make me feel like we can be.
We're saying we have more original content. We have more new content right now. That's what we have.
That's totally true. So true. Very, very true. It's weird because we give so much away for free, and yet we still have found more to give just to our Patreon.
That's because if the fans demand it, we want to be there. We want to support them. We want to say thank you.
So what we have right now is we have 2 videos for our Patreons. We have that much secreted and mysterious lost episode that we've talked about so many times in the past. It's there.
That was hard to find.
Yes.
It's tricky.
It's a lot of fun stuff on there.
We had to walk uphill both ways to find that.
That's right. In the snow, yes. But we got it done.
Yeah.
It's there for you.
And it's a little rough around the edges, not gonna lie, but damned if it's not maybe the funniest, like, closing 3 minutes of any video you'll ever watch. Because spoilers, Weapon 2 is not sober. Why are you smiling, sober. Hailstorm? Neither were you.
Yeah.
It's rough when Captain Mal's the one trying to right the ship. What the heck was happening in that thing?
You're not going to see Weapon 2 like that again on a podcast. I'm telling you, that's a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
But if you want to see
viewing pleasure
right now, just become a Patreon.
When do you ever ride a ship?
Right a ship?
Yeah.
Watch that thing. It was rough. It was rough sailing. I didn't know what way was north or left or whatever.
It was scary, but Captain Mal was the voice of reason.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was great.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued.
Let's never do it again. But yeah, so lots of cool stuff coming with the Patreon, and we have cool stuff that we're planning on doing, videos that we have in mind that we want to start making and start popping out. So if you become a Patreon, know that you're going to have lots of really cool content coming your way really soon.
Nice, I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Are you excited?
I'm so excited.
Are you excited?
Oh, I'm stoked.
She looks so excited.
Yep.
Yes!
All right.
Okay.
So that's our Patreons. Once again, thank you very much. It means the world to us. And
are we going to? Hey! What's everybody into? What are you doing? What are you doing with your spare time, everybody? What you into?
AKA the longest title ever. One of these days, I'm just going to write it out, like in the graphic, exactly the way you say it. And it's going to be awesome.
Nice. So, hey, are we going to start with our special guest?
Let's start with our special guest.
All right.
So, Alias, what are you into?
Great time, huh? What's going on?
What's up?
You just keep adding to it. But what are you up to?
So right now I've actually gotten myself into comic books, which is a very new venture for me.
You never checked out comics before?
I haven't.
Nice.
Oh, you poor person.
Besides
The sad
a
life
graphic
up
novel
until
or
this
two,
moment.
that follow a specific band named Coheed and Cambria. I've read a couple of their graphic novels and the very large book that goes with the Burning Star 4 CD album.
Nice.
So this is really my first dive into comic books.
Like superhero type comic books?
Absolutely.
Okay. So look at this. We're converting people. We're converting the normals
Absolutely.
to be one of us.
We're doing some great work here.
We are.
So-
Important work.
So what titles have you checked out?
So the first one that I decided to read, of course, was Jessica Jones' Alias.
Nice.
And then I decided to dabble a little bit in some Spider-Gwen.
I see you're rocking a Spider-Gwen hoodie there.
You know it.
Looks good.
And then as I had received a fantastic recommendation, I then decided to start the New 52 Wonder Woman. I thoroughly enjoyed all three of them.
Nice.
And have some other ones on deck, ready to go.
So of the three, I mean, those are three radically different characters
Yep.
and kind of radically different types of stories. Which one kind of stuck with you the most, do you think?
I don't really know that I could say one stuck with me more than the other because all three of them really kind of threw me for a loop. Because as you guys have discussed multiple times, in all of these situations, there's differences between what we know, like the Jessica Jones that I started with in the Netflix series, is the comic book's completely different.
Right.
It's still Jessica Jones, but you've got all of a sudden Captain America showing up.
Yeah, that's the one thing you told me that you were shocked by, because if you're
Yes.
used to like the MCU,
Right.
you know, they don't team up unless it's like Avengers or something. But in this, she was tripping because like Captain America just shows up, like Daredevil just shows up, a lot
Yeah,
more
because
crossovers.
it's Marvel.
But it feels more like a universe, right?
Oh,
like
absolutely,
everyone being
absolutely.
together.
And, spoiler alert, in this one, Daredevil's not a good fucking guy.
Oh,
He's
really?
terrible.
Is he a dick?
He's a total dick. And so that kind of threw me for a loop, especially knowing Daredevil, again, from the Netflix series and from the second series that he did with Jessica Jones.
The Defenders.
Right. Yes. And Golden Fist and all of them. So that really threw me for a loop. I think I actually texted you and was pretty tripped out.
He's
by
like,
that.
why is Daredevil an asshole? I'm like,
Right.
well, I mean, you can't see, you know?
So that was fantastic. And of course, in Spider-Gwen, they reference a lot from the Into the Spider-Verse. And in Wonder Woman, you see a whole lot of, again, that blending, the universes coming together and it being a lot different from what I
You're
know.
taking like a huge dive into comics. Like you're not starting small. You're going like Marvel, you're going DC, you're going alternate universe Marvel with Spider-Gwen.
thoroughly enjoying
Wait, it's a
it.
deep dive.
And
Like,
you get to enjoy this unsegregated Marvel universe that's fully inclusive. They're not segregating TV from movies. That's the way I like my Marvel universe.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Nice. Well, that is some interesting comics that you're getting into, and I have not read the Spider-Gwen or the Alias, so I actually want to check those out when you're done.
You're more than welcome to.
But as for myself, hey Mal, yes, other Mal, what have you been up to? Well, I'll let you know. Hey, are you missing Game of Thrones? Did you feel a little disappointed that your favorite fantasy series ended? Have you already watched all of The Witcher?
Bob, I can't exactly say I've been missing it. I watched The Witcher. Yes, I did.
Okay. Yeah. Do you like that kind of thing? Do you like the swords and sandals type genre?
I do like that.
Well, sir, have you seen a little television show called Spartacus?
I have
Blood
seen
and Sand.
Spartacus.
Because
Yes.
I just made another run through the series, Spartacus, Blood and Sand. And you know the thing about Spartacus is, that's a great show. I think we all watched it kind of when it
Fantastic.
came out. You forget how freaking unbelievably violent that show is. That is the most violent thing that has ever been on television, I think.
Well, it was Gladiators. It was a show of death.
It was, but the
Yes.
way they do it, it's a pretty cool blend of like the story of like the movie Gladiator, because it's about, spoilers, a rebellion and all that happening, but kind of like the visual style of the movie 300. It's very stylized. It's very graphic. There's lots of slow-mo. And I think the first two seasons, it's not overdone too much. The last two seasons it is, but It's some of the best choreographed fight scenes you'll see. Really, really intriguing characters, a really, really deep plot. And like you get emotionally attached to characters that you hated at first, to the point where like the finale legitimately had me in tears. And it had been so long since specifically I've seen the final 2 seasons. I kind of didn't remember a lot of them. Like I remember the big plot points, but I didn't remember like little things. And in running through it again, I was blown away by how freaking good that show is, how good the writing is. Stephen S. DeKnight is actually the showrunner and one of the main writers, and it should be no surprise because he is a Joss Whedon alum. He worked with him on Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel, which are some of the best writing and character-driven shows you could watch. So yes, Spartacus, start with Blood and Sand. I think it's on Netflix still. Maybe it's gone. I don't know. Find it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Is it gone?
Yeah.
Damn it.
I think February 1st.
Nope.
It's worth buying. It's worth buying. Watch Spartacus. Oh, it's so awesome.
Nice.
Weapon 2?
All right, here's what I'm into, folks. A couple shows. I'm going to tell you one. This is a show on Hulu. It's called Mr. In Between. Has anybody in here watched Mr. In Between?
I have not even heard of it.
Mr. In Between is probably one of the characters that I can relate with most. Now, Mr. In Between is a guy named Ray Shoesmith, I think is his last name. He's what you call, he's a jack of all trades in the underworld, kind of the criminal organization. The thing about Ray is he's very complex. Ray, probably wouldn't have gone down the path that he took to be involved in organized crime and also a hired killer if he hadn't have had kind of a hard life. And you can kind of see that Ray he's not really happy about killing people. He'd probably rather have taken another career course if his life had steered him that direction. Even at times when he is doing his job and killing people, he doesn't seem like he's liking it at all. But here's the thing. There are some people in this world that need to be killed.
I've always said that.
And whether Ray wants to be that person or not, he is the guy that's doing it. He also, some of the funny things are, he's also, even though he's a hired killer, he's in an anger management class, the group that he goes to.
Sure.
Sounds appropriate.
He usually just sits in the corner, doesn't say much. It's almost like it must be court appointed, but he
Just
there's times where they're talking about getting on each other about how they heard he did something, he hit somebody, and violence is never the answer. And he'll sit there quietly for a while, and they'll keep saying it to him over and over, and he'll go, "But isn't it sometimes?" And he has, it's endearing because he's divorced and he has a daughter that he's trying to take care of and raise, and he's got a brother who has like ALS or multiple sclerosis or some kind of real horrible degenerative disease that he's trying to take care of. So you see, he's a guy who's very complex. He's got a whole life. He's got this thing going on too in the middle of it. But without giving too much more away, I can completely relate to this guy. Not that I'm gonna go out and kill somebody. Are you
saying you want to murder?
Or necessarily want to kill anybody. It's that I understand.
You understand the necessity.
I understand what's going on and how he thinks. But he's a really good actor. This, to me, right now, is... I just finished watching the second season. It is up there with my favorite series that I've watched.
Where'd you say it was on? Hulu?
It's on Hulu. Yes. Now, I got one more that I'm going to talk about, probably a little shorter, and this one is called Kingdom. Has anybody here watched Kingdom?
I've heard of it. I have not seen it.
I've heard of it.
Okay, kind of movie that some people like to watch, and this movie sets place. It's a period piece in Korea shortly after the Japanese invaded. It's without putting too much out there. A guy decided that we needed to fight back the Japanese, so he found a way to create zombies. Okay, now these are not
This is a great idea.
These are not your regular run-of-the-mill Walking Dead zombies. These are running at you really fast,
Can't stand
scary
running zombies.
So they're the scariest type of zombie. And of course, it gets out of control. Okay,
Yeah.
They thought they were going to keep them.
Is this kind of like a Jurassic Park taste situation?
Well, they thought they were going to keep them out in front of the gate.
Idea.
But It didn't work out that way, and now they're all over the place, and it's spread
Go
like crazy,
figure.
like in a zombie movie.
Sounds about crack.
Spoilers.
So you have a scary type of zombie movie mixed with the kind of movie that you like, where it's and one of the things they used the zombie to do was the king was dying. The oldest son was the heir to the throne, but his new younger wife, who couldn't really have kids, decided that she wanted to have one of her kids. Now, how she gets a kid is a thing I'm not going to tell you because that's a huge spoiler, but she keeps the king alive by turning him to a zombie and keeping him all caged up so that until she figures out how to have a son so she can keep the power. So the heir to the throne, he's running around trying to do what's right, save the people from the zombies. There's a whole lot of running. This thing's all about the cardio. There's people running everywhere. There's a lot of sword play, fighting, killing, warfare, fighting zombies and each other. It's a super good movie. Second season just finished it. It's great. Watch it.
I'm sold.
How about you, Hills?
That's fantastic.
Well, so I have to admit that while I should have been thinking of things to say about what I'm into,
You were just so into what he was saying.
well, first, the whole time you were talking about, was it Spartacus?
Yeah.
All I could think of was the line in Airplane where he's like, Joey, do you like movies about gladiators? So that took my mind like, whoo, over there. And then when he was saying something, I laughed and snorted. So then I started thinking, well, geez, is that gonna did that show up?
So you're
No, that's
Are we
fine.
gonna
so
edit
you're
it
easily
out?
distracted,
Yeah.
is what you're saying.
That's
fun.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I do have a couple things that I've been into lately. So just started watching, which I know I'm behind on this, What We Do in the Shadows. Totally love it. Very funny. Vampires thrown into the world today and not really prepared for being in the world today. Have you guys watched that at
No,
all?
I haven't even heard of it.
Oh my God, you gotta watch it. So it was
on Hulu.
Yeah, it's on Hulu. So there was a movie originally with Jermaine Clement, who was in Flight of the Conchords. If you're familiar, are you familiar?
Yeah,
He needs to be. If you're not,
I am.
okay, thank God.
I'm as well.
We can still be friends. What?
Really?
Really? You're
I wasn't
not?
talking to you.
You're going to listen to some after we're done here.
Because you
Folks,
just
he's
shook
gonna hear
your
about
head
it.
no, which
Yeah.
the people.
Well, thanks. The
listening-
audio listeners didn't know that.
Right, so I'm calling you out. Okay,
That's
so
fair.
Jermaine Clement, very funny, and he did this What We Do in the Shadows movie, and he like executive produces it. I'm not sure what else his involvement in the show is, but his mark is there. It's very funny, very, very funny. So
Nice.
It
Okay.
is. I agree. It's very funny.
yeah.
Okay.
And then I posted on Instagram that I had to go on a work trip last week and spent the time in my nice, clean hotel room reading my 1992 Tick Special Edition.
You could have go one show. You could have come on this show one time and not mention
You know
the
what?
tick, could
There's
you?
not a tick on the table, so
I'm surprised.
well,
'Cause he's a
he
man.
would've-
Yeah.
yeah, we have a theme going here. So, and I took some pictures of them as I was reading them, so we're gonna throw those up on Instagram. But love it. Just love it. I mean,
I'm not
are
judging
you
you for
going to
loving
go an
it.
episode
I'm not
without
judging you
talking
for
about
loving it.
Buffy?
What?
You're not. I can guarantee you're not.
Judging you for liking the tick?
No, I can guarantee you're not going to go an episode without talking about Buffy.
I appreciate
I don't. First
both
of all,
Buffy
I
and
don't
the
talk
Tick.
about Buffy every episode,
Buffy and the Tick. This is great.
and you don't know that.
Bringing two worlds
And
together.
Here.
You don't know that I'm going to talk about Buffy this episode,
Right.
Oh, yeah, we do.
despite my
don't know that.
Alrighty.
T-shirt and poster.
Well, I was just gonna say, like I just pointed out, I think the poster's kind of
Hey,
dead giveaway.
hey, you were the guest. Shh. Why are we fighting?
Sorry.
Let the adults fight.
Excuse me.
It's not a fight. It's a playful discourse.
Oh, I'm fighting. I don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe. Oh, okay, well, then I'll bring it. That's it, though. I didn't have much more than that because,
Nice.
yeah.
Hey,
Well, that's what we're up to.
are we going into our top 5 now?
You know, I think
Oh snap.
Let's
I
do
think
it.
we're doing our top 5.
Okay.
Hey, what are we going to start with a special guest again?
So as we said earlier, top 5 is the most badass female characters in movies and or television. Special guest, would you like to start or go last?
I'll go last. How about that?
All right, Alias.
Oh, shit.
Alias is going last.
Dang.
All right, let's
That's
start
a
at the
ballsy
other
move.
end.
I'm just saying.
Snap.
All right.
Okay.
Hailstorms.
Not prepared
No,
for
you're
that.
doing
I wasn't ready for that either.
Hailstorms.
All right.
Okay.
Hailstorms.
Consulting our notes.
Okay.
Yes, here we go.
All right, my number 5 top 5 of the top 5 badass females. We went with TV and movies. So my number 5 is Sarah Connor, Terminator.
Nice.
Yep. I love her relentless pursuit of saving the human race. Even when she starts to cross the line into crazy pants, that's okay. Sometimes, it's
Gotta have a little
it's a fine
crazy.
line, right? It's a fine line between what was it? Batshit passionate,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like you walk on the line, you look right over it, you wave, and then
Yeah, I think she more than waved.
Take
Take a step, maybe.
Yeah.
No,
But
she pole vaulted over that fucking thing.
right. She danced around on the other side. But it was what was needed for the time. She was relentlessly pursuing saving the human race. That's kind of a big job.
I mean,
right?
that's not nothing.
That's one of the biggest jobs there can be. Yep.
I pulled out one of her quotes. There is no fate but what we make for ourselves.
Yes.
Bless
Beautiful.
her. And bless
Yes.
her
Damn it,
heart.
you're saying
Yes.
quotes from like one of my favorite movies of all time.
Nice.
I should have
played.
just set you up to give me one because
It's
you're
fine.
better at quotes than I
No,
am.
it's good. It's good. I liked it. It's just
Okay.
you're hitting me with the feels right now because I love that movie.
Do you need to take a moment to cry?
I'm good. Weapon 2 is gonna go, and I'm gonna settle myself
Well,
over
here
here.
we go, folks. So I can appreciate where Hailstorm went with hers. For my number 5, I'm going to go in a completely different direction. It's a different type of character. This is the kind of character that you need in a time where there's an uprising. It's an uprising that we've heard so much about on this podcast. It's the rise of the robots when they're going to come after us and kill us. And we need somebody's got to stand up to the robots. And this person in this case is Sarah Connor. And, in the first Terminator movie, she's like a waitress. She's kind of the runaround, helpless, scared, kind of doesn't do much until like maybe the last scene when she's telling that, what was it, a cop? She said, get up! Tell him to get up. And she's taking charge. And then in the next movie, Terminator 2, that is when, I don't know, she went to boot camp or something. She's like got the muscles. She's all fit. And she's running around kicking ass and kicking robot ass and taking robot names.
Yep.
Get it, girl.
And then, from then on, she's like one of the most badass female characters in movies in a story. How about you, Captain Mal?
Well done.
Bam.
My number 5 is not Sarah Connor. Sorry to break the streak. I know. But my number 5 is a badass female character, nonetheless. Going all the way back to the 1990s to when a young and impressionable Captain Mal was watching televisions on network TV, and I was into...
This is Xena Warrior Princess.
You know what? You don't know me. This is Xena Warrior Princess.
So much
Yes.
Weapon 2 for calling that out.
Yes.
Perfect.
So Xena Warrior Princess is a spin-off of the great show Hercules Legendary Journey, starring friend of the show Kevin Sorbo. And so, as you know,
Kevin, we're missing you. Why don't
Yeah,
you come
where you
back
at,
on the
Kevin?
podcast? Okay?
I mean, I feel like
haven't
I-
heard from you in a while.
give us a call, give us a ring. But so that great show, Hercules Legendary Journeys, starred the demigod, Hercules. Xena was originally written as a character, a bad guy character on the show that was only supposed to be around for I think like 3 episodes. But she was so awesome and took fans so much, she got her own spin-off show, Xena, that actually ran longer and had higher ratings than Hercules. And talk about like the epitome of a badass female character. She was legit a warrior. She was an Amazon, and she could fight and hang in a fight with Hercules, a demigod. The main protagonist or antagonist throughout her entire show was Ares, the fucking god of war, who she would actually throw down with. And his whole thing was she used to be this evil chick who wanted to like murder and take over stuff. She realized that's not the way to do things, and she becomes like a protector for humankind. And Ares is constantly trying to lure her back to the dark side, so to speak, because she was so good at violence and fighting and murder. That gave him power and all that. So the entire show, he's trying to seduce her, and she's drawn between, the call to be evil and just do bad shit, or to be a savior and to be a protector for humankind. And it mixes in, Greek mythology, which I'm a big fucking nerd for. So the show as a whole, was great because you watch it now and it's cheesy as crap.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching some of her fight scenes.
It's rough. You can't do it now.
It's almost Three Stooges.
It is pretty bad.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
But
it's good though.
But as a child at the time, talking about like a strong female role model
Yeah.
because she was like not afraid to be vulnerable. She was not afraid to show compassion and love, but at the same time, just be like take no shit from any guy and just whip some ass. So yes, Xena, Warrior Princess is my number 5.
Nice. Good
I feel
work.
like that helped set the stage for who you became in later years.
Probably.
I think that's very appropriate.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alias, number 5.
So my number 5 takes me back to, of course, also being a small child.
Young and impressionable.
Young and impressionable in the 90s, early 90s.
That was a bad time.
It was a horrible time. I'm going with Dana Scully from X-Files.
Nice.
Good choice.
Good one.
I absolutely love Dana Scully. I remember actually after watching the show having nightmares when then trying to go to bed. But my older brother and I, my cousins, we would all play X-Files and try to like hunt aliens in our house. And
The Chupacabra.
oh, absolutely. But the thing that I love about Dana Scully is that she's the skeptic. She's the one that's always trying to find a rational explanation
Science and,
for
yeah.
what's happening. She's not grossed out by blood, guts, all that other kind of stuff. You find her, elbow deep in a cadaver, and
Yeah, she was a doctor, wasn't she? Like she would do autopsies
she's
and
getting
stuff.
shit done.
Yeah.
But she was always cool, level-headed, handled her business. But most importantly, with the show, she was an equal to her male counterpart. So growing up in the 90s and seeing that with a very well-educated woman being...
She's always sharply dressed in her business attire.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
also, like, the thing that was cool about her is she was, like, not a believer, didn't believe in that shit at
No,
all.
not at
But
all.
then when faced with it, would draw that gun and shoot and not be, scared or freeze
Right.
or anything. Like,
Absolutely.
She was
Absolutely.
a total badass.
And it also helped pave the way for Dr. Melinda Warner from Law & Order, as well as Temperance Brennan from the TV show Bones.
Oh. Okay.
And really, the last thing I have to say about Miss Scully is #epic side-eye.
Side.
Oh yeah.
Good one.
Yes.
Well played.
I'm gonna have
All
to
right.
remember that. #epic side eye.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Hailstorm.
Nice.
We're back to you.
Back to me, number 4. All right, so anybody that knows me knows this one's not going to be much of a surprise.
Is it the tick?
No, that's
Oh, that's not a
That's a
girl.
dude.
Sorry.
Be a
Sorry.
dick.
Sorry.
That's hurtful. Rebecca Buck, Tank Girl from the
Yeah.
movies.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. She was a post-apocalyptic badass in the year 2033. Let's just let that sit for a second.
Oh, God.
13 years from now.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well,
You didn't do the math. She witnesses the slaughter of her boyfriend and fights Water and Power, who are the bad guys. And she never shows fear. I love that about her. She never shows fear. She is talking crap the whole time. My favorite scene, she's captured and restrained, and one of the soldiers from Water and Power is standing in front of her and unzipping his pants, and he's got a gun to his head. Yeah, it gets dark. And she tells him she's going to need a microscope and some tweezers.
Burn. That's a classic burn.
Savage.
Yes.
She's
It's
savage.
old school.
Savage.
Yeah, savage. So
yeah.
that's why I love Tank Girl.
Nice.
Love. Yep.
Okay.
Did we at the beginning of this tell everybody what this top 5 list is about?
No, he did at the beginning of the top 5 and said,
Yeah.
as we already said, which he hadn't already said. But I
No,
didn't
we
say
said. I
anything.
said when we did the very intro of the show, and I said what we're going to be talking about later. I mentioned it then, and I mentioned it before the segment started. In honor of Alias being here, we are going to give you our top 5 most badass female characters in movies
Yeah.
and or TV shows. So, as we said earlier, top 5 is the most badass female characters in movies and or television.
Okay,
Yes.
good. Just checking. Good job. Good work.
This isn't our first rodeo,
Oh, I
Hailstorms.
know. Yes. yes.
Hey,
we've
I'm
been
not
here
the one that
before.
questioned.
I know.
He
It was
is.
me.
This isn't our
It
first
was me.
rodeo weapon too.
All right.
to be
Well,
expected for the rest of the show.
I would like to apologize to Hailstorm. And yes,
so I just want to go back to my list. For my list, I was trying to go with people who hadn't been in comic books first. So that was kind of where my list went from. So there's probably some other great characters that I'm not going to have on here, but I'm going with people who are movies, TV first. My next one, number 4, is The Bride from Kill Bill.
nice.
Oh, Weapon 2.
Here's the deal. You got the bride.
Oh, Weapon 2.
They try to assassinate her. She goes into a coma. They can't keep her down. She comes out, takes care of the orderly that was trying to have people rape her when she was in a coma, and then she says, you know what? I'm going after Bill. So she goes after this entire assassin's guild. She kills them. She gets a awesome katana by a retired sushi maker. Used to be a katana maker, but he makes her one because he doesn't like Bill either. And probably the best scene for me is like she's in this big pagoda or this big room. Jeez, there must be like 150 bad guys in there. And she slices and dices. There's no shortage of blood on this. I mean, they brought that in by the tankful.
There's copious
It's
amounts of blood.
spraying
Yeah.
everywhere. So she takes all these people out, cuts pieces of them off. They're all laying on the ground. She tells any of them that want to get up and leave, they could get up and leave, but she tells them to leave their arms and legs where they are because they're hers.
Oh.
That's
Savage.
that's ruthless.
Ah.
Yeah.
Anyways, she was my number 4. She's a complete badass, and she swings a katana, and she killed a lot of people.
Nice.
Revenge.
So for my countdown, I too tried to stay away from characters that originated in comics, just to differentiate it from the Lost episode list. But my number 4 did originate. Whew, words are hard. In a book series, and I feel like that's okay.
Sure.
So
You're making your own rules. It's okay.
I am.
He just flies by the seat.
It's our show. We can do what we want.
Right.
Do what I want.
Nothing new.
So my number 4 is No One, aka Arya Stark. So
Yeah.
Arya, I think
He's
would.
fooling us. I thought he was going to say no answer. Yeah. Nice.
So I feel like most people know who Arya is, and most people know that she started as basically like this little girl tomboy living in the Winterfells, not wanting to grow up and be part of the social convention of what women should be at that time, and just find a handsome lord to marry and live in her castle and be pretty and pop out babies. As she told to Ned Stark, no, that's not her. Throughout a course of really fucked up events that I'm not going to spoil because I know somebody hasn't watched Game of Thrones. She goes through some of the most badass assassin training imaginable, becomes a legitimate warrior, becomes creepy and scary as fuck with the ability to change her face, and shows that she can hang toe to toe against the best fighters on the continent and against freaking ice zombies. And the whole time doing it and carrying herself in such a really, really cool, dope way. She was one of my favorite characters on that show in the books. And I know a lot of people's one of their top 3 characters. So Arya Stark is my number 4.
Nice. Good job.
Good choice.
Good job. Alias,
Alias.
what you got?
Well, weapon 2, I can't really follow that. My number 4 is Beatrix Kiddo, a.k.a. the
Oh,
Bride,
nice.
a.k.a. Black Mamba. So
Nice.
really all I'm going to add to your story is hell hath no fairy like a woman scorn.
Word.
Very true.
Nice. Yes. True words have never been spoken. Hailstorm.
You looked at me almost frightened when he said that.
Yeah.
All right, so number 3, I have General Leia Organa. Oh, what's the matter?
Nothing.
Is it that it could possibly have been on multiple people's list?
No, it's just I was fairly confident I was going to be the only one to refer to her as General, and everyone was going to call her Princess.
That's when she was the most
Up
badass.
top. It was up top. Concur.
Yes. So,
She's not on my list.
oh, okay. Well, then she's not on your list now. We can't prove that she wasn't then. You don't write your list down. I have a feeling your list is very malleable.
He's going to be pretty quick about it, right?
Right. He's
next? Who's
See,
next?
I
Who's
can't
next?
be
Who's
quick like
next?
that. I'm like, every time. No. So anyway, I think that throughout, all the Star Wars movies, she was always, a badass. But as she got older, it was even more. You saw the grace and just the way that she dealt with things. And I won't go at length because I never do, but also because I'll let you, if you ever decide to put her back on your list, just in case. Yeah, just in case she can make it back to your list.
Just in case.
Yeah. I had a favorite quote and then I forgot to pull it up, but basically it was, Governor Tarkin, I should have expected to find you holding Vader's leash. I recognized your foul stench when I was brought on board.
Isn't that the first thing she ever says in the very first
I
movie?
think so.
I think that's her opening
It's
line.
still pretty savage.
No, that's I'm
No,
saying
that's
it's
what
particularly
that's
awesome
her
for
opening
being
line.
her
Yeah.
freaking opener.
Right.
Good opening line.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she's
Exactly.
just, I love, there were so many lines that she had that were amazing, but I love that line.
I want to say, like, the way she commands respect with her presence, like, in any given room is freak. She doesn't have to, like, display power, like, talk shit or bark orders. She just, it's there.
She doesn't need a katana.
Exactly.
Just like
No,
me.
she doesn't.
But she has a lightsaber.
She does, but she doesn't leave. She doesn't need a tank full of blood.
All right, folks, this is my turn.
It's your turn.
All right, here we
Allow
go.
it.
Go for it, Weapon 2.
Ellen Ripley from the Alien movies. Now, she goes to outer space with the crew. She doesn't, you know, she's not planning on meeting some of the worst badass xenomorph aliens in the universe and or galaxy.
But space is scary, huh?
Space is scary. You would think that it's void and empty. But there's a lot of scary stuff that happens in space if we're to believe what we see. Now, she, in many ways, shows how powerful and ruthless and what steps she'll go to defend herself. And she has there's a girl she defends at one time, and we find out one time she had a daughter that was born, and then she was in a cryo state or something, and completely missed the entire life of her daughter or something like that. It's kind of a sad story. But in one scene, she's like putting a gun together. I'm like, with all kinds of stuff. She's like duct taping stuff together because she's going down to save the girl and battle the aliens. That's badass. She like jettisons one of them out of the what's it called? The little airlock in one thing, and blasts him with the ship's engine and just melts the alien. At one time, she's in like some type of robot armor or exoskeleton, and she's fighting with big pincher hands.
Just get away from her, you bitch.
That's right. She's a badass. I'm just saying.
Nice. Well done, sir. All right. My number 3 is from a little show you kids might have heard of called Fireflies.
I knew you were going to do this.
And
Tell me about this show.
it's a
I'm
great
not
show,
familiar.
and it was canceled ahead of its time, and it's a damn shame. It's a big damn shame.
Isn't that where your name comes from?
It might be. You know, Captain Malcolm Reynolds might be my namesake.
I wondered where that came from.
Yeah,
it's all
from,
making sense
from
to
a little
me now.
show that you guys should all check out. But on the show, he has a right-hand woman, the person that he trusts his life with more than anybody, that he always knows will have his back and back him up. And her name is Zoe Washburn. So Zoe is probably the definition of a badass female character, loyal to a T. They served together in the war. And Zoe is probably one of the most skilled badass fighters you can imagine. The thing I like about her so many times, there's little things that she does that fucking amaze me and that show how endearing this character is. Anytime Mal gets into a confrontation with somebody, like an argument, like there's a scene when he gets into it with Jane, another member of their crew, and it gets super heated to the point where like they're about to throw punches, and you see as like they back off, you see that Zoe's hand went to her gun. And it was just ready, and as they back down, she just moves it ever so slightly. It's the little things like that I fucking love about that character. But then she goes and marries Wash, who is like the exact opposite type dude. He's the jokester, always making jokes, always funny, inappropriate, not a fighter at all. The exact opposite of Mal, really, in almost every way. And she's cool because she is feminine, she is beautiful, she's fucking smart, she's a naturally born leader, but just understands, like, you know, the chain of command. Like, Mal was her sergeant. He was her leader. He was the person she will follow into battle to fucking Hell's Gate, and vice versa. And I love her because I love her loyalty. I love how awesome she is in a fight. How she was not afraid of anyone. She's not afraid of Jane. She's not afraid of any, like, she's the one that he would take over anybody into a fight.
Yep.
And that says everything to me. Firefly was hard because, like, I think every female character on that show, you can make an argument.
Yep.
Spoilers, a couple are going to be on my honorable mentions. But I had to, at the end of the day, pick Zoe because she's fucking awesome. So that is my number 3.
Nice.
Alias.
Alias, you're up. What you got?
Well, my number 3 is actually going to go for my namesake, Jessica
Okay.
Jones.
Nice.
Absolutely. From the Netflix series. So she is a little bit of my spirit animal. And just the fact that she's that perfect.
Drunk?
You said what I was thinking.
You don't know me. No. Okay, maybe a little bit. Anyway, she's that perfect balance of
I'm not
I
wrong.
don't give a fuck and ultimate badassery, but she also has that side of where she has to care, and she kind of shows her vulnerability in those situations. So kind of that perfect mixture. She's not very girly, but at the same time, she has that femininity about her that you really can't deny. But she's a superhero, but she doesn't want the fame. She doesn't want the notoriety. She doesn't want to be known as a superhero. But when it comes down to it, she knows that she needs to do what's best for everyone else.
She can't not help people.
Correct.
Right.
And when it comes down to it, especially in the first season, she's been through a lot in her life from the very beginning. And she does what every broken-hearted woman has ever wanted to do, and made the guy that fucked her up the most pay.
Oh,
Yep.
and how? Holy shit.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, you want to talk
Mind your
revenge?
P's and Q's there, fellas. Keep yourself out of trouble.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Love her.
Nice. Great pick.
So my number 2, I just have to say, I love Zoe Washburn so much that I made her number 2, which is, I believe, is higher than number 3.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes, I can
Yeah.
verify. Can confirm.
Yeah.
Can I confirm?
In a
That's
countdown, it is higher than number 3.
That is true.
So,
Was Zoe's your number 2?
what?
Zoe's your number 2?
Zoe's my number 2
Yes.
She
in
just said
writing.
it for
in
I-
shits and
writing.
giggles.
I was
Yeah.
tuning her out.
In writing. So, not much more I can add that Captain Mel didn't already add, except for just she has to play the straight man in the show because she has all these characters around her that are the punchline guys, but she does it so well, and again, like, so graceful and everything, just commands respect when she just by her presence, but she's amazing. And I'm gonna set you up for a line. I want you to finish it because you know dialogue way better than I do. So Mal says, well, look at this. It seems we got here just in the nick of time. What does that make us?
Big damn heroes, sir.
Bam. See? That's how we make it work.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
I want to point out, though, real quick, that first of all, I was super nervous. I was like, fuck, if I don't know the line, I'm going to look it up and
No,
edit
I know you'd
that
know
right
it.
in. Second of all, though, so you're right. She doesn't have a lot of the jokes on the show.
She's very straight.
But one of the ones that she does have that's freaking hilarious, that is so subtle, it's in the movie Serenity when they're going to the training house to go see Inara. And Mal is like, okay, Zoe, you have the ship. And if anything happens, anything at all, you take this ship and you come and save me. And then Zoe's like, what? And risk my new ship? And Mal's like, serious, it's cold out. I don't want to get left.
So can I take this time to admit that I won't acknowledge that the movie exists?
What?
It's the end. To me, it's the
I
end.
feel ya.
And
Yeah.
with Wash dying, I just will
Spoilers.
not. Yeah. I'm sorry. I just gave spoilers for a movie that came out in what year?
He's a leaf in the-
2005.
He's a leaf in the wind. Spoiler. Leaf in the wind.
God, I hate that. I hate it when people celebrate the movie by using that saying.
it's heartbreaking.
Because it's heartbreaking.
But I will say this, the movie is fantastic, and like I think some of the best quotes ever come out of the movie. Like it is brilliantly done. It is Josh Whedon's first directorial feature-length film,
Yeah.
and it's fucking amazing.
So the thing about me though is I stay away from anything sad, and so I can't. I watched the movie
Can
one
confirm.
time, cried so hard
It was rough.
that I just couldn't do it again.
Yeah, because you think Book's gonna be the big loss, and he gets just killed out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets washed.
Yes. That's not even funny. Not even funny. Your turn, Weapon 2.
All right, folks. My number 2 is from one of the most storied franchises of my life. This character is none other than Leia Organa.
Oh, nice.
Now, they're right. She's been a general. Before that, she was a princess. I don't know how you go straight from princess to general. That seems like some old-timey stuff where just because you're rich or you have a high thing, you go straight to general.
No, there was some
It,
time in
it seems like you're
between.
skipping some
Tell me,
steps.
tell
You're
me,
skipping
Skipping
some
some
steps.
steps.
tell me
Level
one.
of badassery.
Tell me
Like,
one
just
rank
skip
she was
right.
referred
She
to before
deserved it.
general. Between princess and general, tell me when she was referred to any other rank.
She doesn't need
Never happened. Was referred to general, but that doesn't mean that she was less than a stellar general and a leader of people.
To be fair, I have a question.
Yes, no, go for it.
I feel like in the rebellion and in the resistance, like everyone's a general, or you're just like
There's a
a
lot-
regular pilot or a soldier.
it
There's no
seems
like
like
in
it's
between.
kinda
Is there no other
top-heavy.
ranks? It's a
Well,
lot of generals.
Nobody ever talks to those other people. Yeah, they're running around. They're wrangling
There's
a
no
tauntaun,
sergeants.
wrangling a tauntaun
Well,
or something.
we're spending a lot of time in the command post, and that's why those are.
Yeah, that's
new.
where
Okay,
that's where
yeah, no, I feel
that's
it.
where the
Yeah, that makes
honchos
sense.
are.
Yeah.
So they're around somewhere. I mean, let's put it this way: she's not getting her own coffee. All right. So
Yeah, they were.
But she's-
Wait, who is
Gopher.
that female character that got shafted in the third movie? That was
Oh,
prominent.
that was Rose?
Yeah,
Was that
Rose
Rose?
is getting her coffee in that
oh,
movie.
Rose.
She's got her own gopher.
They did her dirty.
2 creams, no sugar. Rose, get on it.
So, anyways, through several movies, battles, wars, she leads the rebellion as one of the most storied leaders of the entire rebellion against the Empire. She's brave, valiant. She's just the greatest. Leia, rest in peace. We'll miss you. All right.
And she won the heart of a scoundrel, like Han Solo's. That's
I mean, to be fair, that's not that hard.
It really is. not hard.
no.
It's actually pretty easy.
To win his heart, like to make him fall in love with her, not just.
You want somebody to fall? We got stories. I mean, yeah, scoundrels are easy to get to fall in love with you.
Who you
Fair
call
enough.
scruffy looking?
Just
Yeah.
so you know.
Did she just call you a nerf herder?
Yeah.
Is that what happens?
Yeah, half-witted.
Wow, this just took a turn.
It's awesome. Okay, my number 2 most badass female character in movies or TV. So, this character is my number 2 because throughout the course of 2 movies, I think undergoes the most significant character arc of anyone I've ever seen in such a short period of time. Sarah Connor.
Really?
Sarah Connor.
Tell us
You put her
about
pretty
this
high
Sarah
on
Connor.
You know what, though? You put her pretty high on your list.
So Terminator 2 Judgment Day came out in like 92, I believe. I was a young and impressionable lad when that came out. And Terminator 2 I still rank as one of the greatest action movies of all time. We've talked about this to the end, and Terminator 1 is fantastic.
For real.
And the way she transitions from the damsel, the one who needs to be saved in the first movie, to the motherfucker who's going to do the saving in the second movie, how she transitions to this total unrelenting badass.
Right. Yeah.
Almost to the point where she's not human, like where she's not even having emotion. She knows it's the mission. It's saving the fucking human race is what's important. It's stopping Judgment Day becomes everything. And she is like one of the most iconic, most like definitive badass female characters of all time. Some of the scenes that I love with her the most are like when she's in the hospital in the second movie and where they're like, no, bitch, you're crazy. And then when the Terminators show up, the look on the doctor's face.
It's like, uh-oh.
Right.
The best
shit.
scene in that entire movie is when she's breaking out and then the elevator door opens and Arnold turns the corner and the stop that she does as she's sliding, like the look
She's
of
sliding
fear.
and trying to
Like,
go backwards. Yeah.
And then John comes out and he's like, no, he's with us. And then she sees the T-1000 come through the bars and the look on the doctor's face like, oh, fuck, this shit's real. She's
Whoopsies.
not crazy. Is amazing. And then from then on, like, she's just awesome. She goes and tries to kill the dude who's supposed to start everything. But here's the thing. You think that she's kind of becoming the thing she's trying to fight. She's almost like this inhuman robot that has no emotion. She's going to go kill the guy who invents the technology because it's, hey, what's one life versus Judgment Day? But when it comes right down to it, when she has him dead to rights, she can't do it because she's a good fucking person. That is just like in the worst, most stressful circumstances you could ever imagine. Like, what if the fate of the human race was literally on you and keeping your kid alive? And she handles it like a fucking baller. And you're right. She goes from just like this like person who needs saving in the first movie to jacked as fuck. Like the shot of her from Terminator 2 when she's like loading the gun and her guns are just like popping. Like,
Or when
look,
she's got the bed on its side so that she can do her pull-ups.
Yes.
Yes,
She's
in the hospital.
She's freaking awesome. She's the definition of a badass woman that you do not want to fuck with. Sarah Connor, my number 2.
Nice.
You know what?
Nice work.
Kudos, Captain Mal, for being the third one to list Sarah Connors, but the one that made it the most riveting. I mean,
I feel like I could tell a good story.
I can acknowledge my shortcomings, but
Good job, Captain
appreciate
Mal.
that.
We
about you.
are all good at certain things. That's what teamwork makes the dream work.
Right?
Alias, what you got for number 2?
Number 2. So I know that you guys from the Lost episode were really trying to make a big difference and include characters that were not in comic books. But I must say that my number 2 actually debuted in the animated series first before debuting in a comic book. And then a movie was made that she was in.
Oh my God, I really want to know what this is.
We're talking about Laura, also known as X-23
Nice.
from Logan.
Good one.
So she's the other part of my spirit animal.
You're a combination of Jessica Jones and X-23.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I feel bad for whoever you're dating.
Yeah, how does that feel?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You're not dating Captain Mal.
Right. Just a little fun fact that I ended up finding out about her was that the X-23 came from the fact that she was the 23rd attempt of them trying to clone
That's
Wolverine.
correct. Yep.
So I found that to be a little bit more interesting as I was looking into her more. But even though in the beginning she's the absolute silent, tough as nails 11-year-old child, which really doesn't happen all that often, she ends up becoming the normal chatty Cathy little girl that Wolverine can't get to shut the fuck up.
When she starts going in the car.
Oh, she's just rambling off a whole bunch of... Well, I couldn't understand
Spanish?
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
she was speaking Spanish. I didn't know what she was saying, but I thought it was fantastic.
Captain Mal, what was she saying?
I don't know. Weapon
Okay,
two.
I'm just checking. I didn't know if you knew.
Why would I know?
I
wouldn't know.
I'm just asking.
But she's also the perfect mix at the end of girls just want to have fun, but holy fuck, run when she's mad. The rage that she gets from being the attempted clone of Wolverine, mixed with also the acrobatic abilities that she kind of
That she
mirror
has, right.
Black Widow a little bit. But she's fantastic. She's rage-tastic. I would
Yes.
say.
So that little actress, like emulating Hugh Jackman, the way he would like yell and like rage out and shit like that, was like adorable but scary as fuck.
Oh, absolutely.
And the scene with her when the main bad guy, comes to get her, and she walks out with dude's head under her arm, might be the coolest. And like, and the look of fear on his face, he's like, no, shit, like that whole thing.
wrap it up.
Yeah, she's just like, oh shit, I'm dead. That made the trailer. Like when that happened, you're just like, whoa, they're fucking doing it, aren't they? Like, yes. And her on-screen chemistry with Hugh Jackman was fantastic. Like that, it really made that.
Well, and
movie.
like you said, when she starts mirroring the yelling and things of that nature from Wolverine, it really kind of shows a relationship that they begin to bond, and how she was learning that she wasn't the only one that was like that, and that she could learn to control her behavior and her rage. Granted, Wolverine at that point was not slowly fading, but quickly fading.
Oh yeah, he was on his last leg.
But she was learning to control it a lot more, and that understanding that she wasn't alone.
Well, and I also really liked how much she wanted a connection with him.
Absolutely.
And how like he was pushing back against that, how he was gonna let them go, and he was like, you don't understand, like everybody I care about, bad things happen to. And she's like, well, I guess I'll be fine. And like that's such a heartbreaking moment. But then when he comes back to save her and she's in tears, and when he dies, spoilers, and when she takes the sticks that they made across and turned it into an X, fuck, so simple, but
Absolutely.
just had me wrecked. Yes. I want to watch that. That's a good
That was
fucking
such
movie.
a good movie.
great.
God, that's a good movie.
Logan's
Yes.
still one of my all-time favorite
I don't know
movies.
a single person that could make it through that movie without crying by the end.
Have you guys
I mean-
seen the black and white version? It's on the
What?
Blu-ray. It's really cool. Yeah.
Is it just the whole movie in black
It's the
and
whole
white?
movie just in black and white. It's just an extra on the Blu-ray.
snap.
It's kind of cool.
Oh, just like when I was a kid. Black and white TV.
Nice number 2, Alias.
All
Number
right.
1.
Number
Oh.
one. I feel like
Do we-
there should be a drum roll.
The top of the top.
I went with a little bit of a different number one than the rest of my list. Captain Olivia Benson, Law and Order Special Victims Unit.
Wow. Nice.
Wow.
Right.
There we
Okay.
go.
I went for somebody who doesn't need a katana, who doesn't need a lightsaber, who just is a badass out there doing real world badass things that most of us can't do.
Solving crimes.
Fair.
Yeah.
Wow.
Solve
Yeah.
crimes and saving people.
Worst of the worst.
Yeah.
Nice.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Nice choice.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Way to have a surprise pick.
Yeah.
Way to go
I
against
went
the
deep.
grain.
I
Yeah.
did. I wanted to acknowledge that there are people out there doing jobs that the rest of us can't do.
Yeah.
And
Oh, hell yeah.
that's yeah. I mean, I can't go any deeper than bam.
Okay.
Well done.
Mic drop.
Yes, exactly. Don't drop the mic though. They're
I
expensive.
won't.
I don't think
All right.
you can. They're attached to the table.
My number one is not only the most badass female character in the movies, quite possibly might want to be one of the most badass characters in general in movies. This is Selene from the Underworld franchise.
You put Selene ahead of Leia?
Yes.
I'm genuinely surprised.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Because, well, I'm not a big fan of vampires. Let's put it that way. But I'm telling you what, she's a friggin' superhero. And the ways, well, first, what's her job? Is she like vampire kill team 6 or something like that? She's out.
Yeah.
Her job is to go out there and hunt all the lichens.
I'm the one who found that funny?
And,
okay. Sorry.
And so she's out. She's hunting all these werewolves, being a vampire, jumping off buildings, doing flips. A lot of the movies, a lot of the time, she's two-hand and fully automatic weapons, just throwing lead. She's got a little sword play. She's handy with a blade. Even a scalpel in one of the movies. She's like going so fast with her vampire speed. There's like some dude. She's like the Flash coming past him, just cutting him over and over and over again. She not only kills the werewolves, but she kills elder vampires. She kills vampire werewolf hybrids. She is just a badass killing machine. Kind of easy on the eyes, and she's just awesome.
I'm not arguing with anything you said.
Yeah, you can't.
No, because she is awesome, and those
Right.
first two movies are very good. Like
Yes.
they're still very watchable.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had such like an affinity for the character. I didn't know she would even be on an honorable mention for you.
See, here's the thing. I like those movies, but they're not some of the movies where I go, oh, this is just the greatest movies. I loved them so much. But her character
It's pretty awesome. Yes.
was pretty awesome. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I feel you, bro.
Alrighty.
All right. Good number one. Damn, surprise. Both of you bringing some surprise number ones. My number one's going to be kind of a surprise also, kids.
Not.
I didn't tell a joke. Where's everyone laughing?
Is this a
That's
vampire
huge
killer?
joke.
Is it maybe a slayer?
I don't know. I don't know what's better than a vampire.
Is it
Except for
a vampire slayer?
a vampire slayer.
What?
Buffy Ann Summers, a.k.a. Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
The vampire?
Vampire. All right, so...
into the Spider-Verse.
Shit, I mentioned it in the Spider-Verse.
I'm glad somebody did. Lonnie's going to be happy. I mean, T. Crawler's going to be happy.
There we go.
Damn it,
All right, Buffy. I'll keep it short and sweet. If you watch the last episode of the podcast, I talk about her a little bit there. I grew up on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. She is the reason that I need strong female characters in the things that I watch and get attached to. She is the definition of a badass. Everything. She is born a Slayer, which is the job where you have to fight vampires and demons and forces of evil. She has no choice in the matter. She just has to fucking do it. Usually a Slayer's lifespan is not very long. They actually rarely make it to their 18th birthday. They usually get their powers around 15, 16, depending on when the last Slayer dies. Buffy is like the oldest, longest running Slayer that there has been in recorded history, part of which is because she has a close-knit group of friends and family that fight alongside her. She is beautiful and vulnerable and caring and loving and compassionate, but like the most badass person on the planet, and also burdened. She has to carry this burden that completely isolates her from everybody else. As the spirit of the original Slayer tells her, death is her gift, and that is something that no other human being on the planet can relate to. As such, she's kind of drawn to, superpowered evil people like Angel and Spike, and those vampires are the ones that can relate to her and the things that she's trying to do. So any type of like vampire thing that you watch now, Twilight, the Vampire Diaries, all that kind of stuff. Lots of those things that seem cliche and lots of tropes that they do now originated with Buffy. Buffy like started a lot of that and did it in a way that was really, really awesome and endearing to the character. And she's a character that has stuck with me my entire life. If you couldn't tell, she's one of my favorite characters of all time. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, while being kind of cheesy and shit to watch now because it debuted in 1997, is still one of the shows that I could watch that will get an emotional reaction out of me. H. Dresden, friend of the show, is a huge fan of it also. And sometimes we'll just put on random episodes, random scenes. When you feel the need for a good cry, I will legitimately still be in tears watching certain moments of that show now. And I'll text him because I know he won't judge me. And he'll just be like, fucking right, waterworks every time. I'm like, somebody understands. Thank you. Buffy the Vampire Slayer is a fantastic show. And if you haven't checked it out, you definitely should. And if not, you should watch a video by the YouTube channel Passion of the Nerd called Why You Should Watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer. His channel is actually all about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He does an episode-by-episode guide of the show. I will link that into the description. You should definitely check it out. That might lure you over to the dark side and get you into that. But Buffy the Vampire Slayer is my number one most badass female character in movies or TV of all time.
Surprise.
Yeah.
You know,
See that
I like to keep you guys on your toes.
Shocker.
What?
All right, Alias.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Alias, it's all
right.
it's all up to you.
So, if you know me at all, this one's kind of a little bit obvious for me. All of my pets are named after characters from this this movie that this specific character is from. We're talking about a little Miss Lilu Dallas.
Lilu Dallas?
Lilu Multipass.
Yes. So, if you've seen the movie, of course, you know that she's resurrected from a decrepit forearm from the, I think it was in Egypt.
Yeah, that sounds about right. There's pyramids, I remember.
Right. And the scientists knew that they were resurrecting what was going to be known as the fifth element, but they did not know that the fifth element was a woman.
Well, yeah, didn't they say it was going to be like a perfect being or something like that?
Yes, and they were all expecting a man, and then again, a perfect being did appear, but with being a female.
I'm
Right.
hearing bean. Bean. A perfect bean.
Well,
They wanted a bean.
Not the
her,
pinto.
yeah.
Not
in her
the
defense,
black,
her brown
not
water
the-
is almost gone. So,
Hey. But of course, it wasn't just that she was a female. She was very innocent, very naive.
Much
and
like me.
I got nothing on that. But, you know, she goes through the rest of the movie knowing that she's going to be what saves the world from this asteroid. But nobody ever really mentions how she's supposed to be saving the world. And throughout the whole story, she's learning more and more. She's doing her research on the little recorder thing that she has, and she's looking up words. And what finally kind of makes or breaks it for her is when she finally sees the definition of war and what us humans have done to our planet with war and hate, and how, to her, at that point, it's not worth saving anymore. So this is kind of the ultimate story of love saves all. And it just took her being told that those special 3 words of I love you for her to finally come out of her shell and become the fifth element and destroy the asteroid and save the world.
Isn't that
Nice.
what any of us need to hear?
You know what I
Those nice
appreciate?
3
How
words.
much they saved on a clothing budget for
Right?
Yeah.
Just the little
That's what
basic
I appreciate.
Almost like some duct tape or
machine
something.
puts on her in the very beginning. Yeah.
that's what I appreciate about you.
That's what you appreciate.
Nice number one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well done. All right, who's got honorables?
I think we all do, don't we?
I think we all do.
Let's
Who
just
wants to
start around.
first?
Go.
All right, so my honorable mentions, and she was on my list until some other characters bumped her off. Sydney Bristow from Alias,
Okay.
a different Alias reference, but I loved that show, J.J. Abrams. And this is going to be a different one. Leslie Knope from Parks and Rec.
She's one of my honorables too.
I
Spoilers.
just love her. I just love her because she's so like driven and committed and like the best possible friend to every person that she interacts with, and so positive. And as we've already said, I don't like to cry or feel emotions, so she was perfect for me.
Nice. Weapon 2.
All right. Some of mine are Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah!
What?
You made me so happy.
I was just
G.I.
gonna have to
Jane.
do that to him.
Daenerys Targaryen.
I love you, Weapon 2.
Hey, no, I know. Of course, Arya Stark as well. And Xena Warrior Princess.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got.
You just
Nice.
made him
I don't
so
think
happy.
you guys know each other at all, do you?
It's not like we're friends or anything.
No.
All right, my honorables. I have Ripley from Aliens, River Tam from Firefly,
Yep.
General Leia Organa, Rey Skywalker, I guess,
Yes.
and Faith Faith the Vampire Slayer from Buffy.
Nice.
Okay. Nice.
So I had 2. One was our friend Leslie Knope. The other one is going to seem a little funny, but I'm going with
Don't be ashamed.
Don't be shy.
Be proud. Be proud of
Be
it.
loud and proud. Yell it.
Yeah.
Do
I
it.
just had to laugh a little bit. Leela
Leela?
from
Futurama?
Damn straight.
There you go. She's only got one eye. Just imagine
Both
if,
of us at the same time.
Right.
imagine if she had two. What
Well played.
with
No,
the
she's
two eyes?
awesome.
That's
Yes.
my chick. And I also love the fact that the person that does her voice is
Katie Seagal.
Yeah.
Peg Bundy?
Love her.
Peg
Yeah.
Let's not forget her in Sons of Anarchy. Top badass.
Yeah, she's always going to be
Little
Peg Bundy to me.
ruthless. I hear ya, but in terms of badass women,
Oh, Peg Bundy's not badass at all. No.
no, we're talking about Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, she's real badass in that show.
Real badass.
she is.
Just that line of insanity. There's not even
The
a
line
line.
is a dot to her. She's
She's
so
way
far over the
it.
line.
Right.
She flew past
It's
that
way
line.
back in the horizon. She
Yeah.
can see it. Yeah.
Nice.
Bye.
All right. Well, that was our list of the most badass female characters in movies and or television. I hope we did not disappoint with that. Weapon 2. What time is it?
Well, this is time for a little thing we like to do. Which end are we going to start with? Are we going to start with our special guest, Alias, or are we going to start down here on this end?
Is this the entire segment name or?
Well, this is called This or That.
Nice. Okay.
That's the name of this. Spoiler, it's called This or That. I was going to try to get
You're
us
gonna
going
work
this-
up to it?
Yeah. So
Okay.
which side are we starting with? Which
We
side
have
are we
to.
starting
We
with?
have to start on this side because our guest has to come up with her noise.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
What do you want to come up with?
Don't take
Well,
that
no,
away
she
from
have
her.
it?
Oh, I already have
Surprise.
it.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
Oh, I
I already
can't
have it.
wait. I'm so excited.
I got
Okay,
sounds all over
you
the
got to
place.
start this off, Hailstorm.
Can you imagine if you tried to take that away from her?
Ooh,
She's-
exciting.
Oh, I know, I
No,
would've been so
I don't want to
upset.
do that. Oh, my
We got to
God,
get
I'm
into the
sorry.
speed
Can't
force
wait.
this time.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Then shush this.
Or
That.
gotta keep. Or, come on, keep on faster.
Captain Mal, I have to say you're the weak
You
link
are the-
every
I am the
damn
weak.
time.
Come on, man.
I got it.
Hold together.
Okay, ready? This.
Or
That.
This.
Or
Fuck. I'm sorry.
I'm more. Here we go. One more time.
This.
Or
That.
nice. That was good.
That was a good one.
That was a good one, folks.
I like
Got it.
that one.
I'm gonna cut
Congrats.
everything out except for that one.
No,
No.
don't do it.
Don't
No.
cut it.
It's not about the destination. It's about the journey. So our number one for This or That. If you could have the ability to interface with computers as a superpower, would you do it or stay off the grid?
Interface. Yeah.
Is this like Bloodshot, kind of?
Yeah.
But without the
Just saw that movie.
blood
It's
nanites?
amazing. That's how I came up with it. Yes.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Obviously,
Yes,
yeah.
Yeah, you haven't really pointed out a downside.
I was about
for
to
me,
say, you're not saying
so-
we're gonna get hacked
I'm
and
staying
shit.
off the grid.
You are?
I don't trust the man. I don't trust the CIA.
Computers
Don't
I
you
don't
have
trust
a
anybody.
Facebook page
I don't
and
want
all
anybody
that?
knowing. What? No, wait. I thought you were blurring my face out.
Oh, okay.
And disguising my voice.
Computers.
You haven't been doing that?
I'm just gonna make you look
Okay.
like T-Crawler.
Alrighty. Okay.
So what are you gonna do?
I don't really know. That's kind of a difficult choice for me because as fun as it would be to run with it, I feel like it would then just consume your entire life. And then I just need to go camping all the time.
See, I don't have anything else going on, so it's okay.
So you're saying if you could interface directly with the computer, you'd be checking your Facebook in your sleep? Is that what you're saying?
Who knows?
I don't
See,
have.
I'm just
That
thinking of all the things I
capability,
could
I mean,
Google.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would know everything.
I don't have a life, so
Right.
I feel like that'd be fine. I
Yeah.
want to know all the things on the internets.
Yeah, there's so much out there.
All right, folks. Are we done with that one? Here we go to number 2. Which Batman was the best and why?
Affleck, Ben
Jesus,
Affleck.
Did you really say that?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna
I
take
know
this
because
one.
I wrote this.
I'm gonna go first.
you
Batfleck
are.
was the best Batman. Christian Bale was in the best movies.
Adam West.
No.
But Ben
Christian
Affleck
Bale.
was the most comic book accurate. He was the most true to size. He was 6'2", about 230 pounds. He was built like him. He played Bruce Wayne brilliantly. He played the tortured fucking Bruce Wayne awesome. He played Batman. He incorporated his gadgets into his fighting, into his techniques, and everything. He was the most comic book He looked like Frank Miller's fucking Batman. Ben Affleck is the best Batman.
Adam West was the best. He does all that, but better.
Okay, I get where you're coming from because I know why you like the Adam West Batman, but he doesn't. do
Because
all
he's
that
from my
better.
hometown.
Right,
Adam West.
right. But to say that he does all that but better. Look
Awesome.
at Captain Mel's
I
face.
don't want to look at him. I can't even make eye contact
Right, I
right
was
now.
gonna say that's probably in the best.
Insanity. Alias.
Second best is Batfleck.
Christian Bale.
What?
Yeah. I love
Ooh,
Christian Bale.
did you just dry heave?
I have an
Love
aversion to
Christian
Christian Bale.
Okay.
I have an aversion to Ben Affleck.
I have an aversion to Adam West.
I do.
So, as a huge Kevin Smith fan, I am a
You know what you're
diehard
talking
Ben
about, bro.
Affleck
Me
fan.
too.
So,
He should
but-
play the fucking shark in Jaws.
So, but a small part of me just has to say that when Michael Keaton Batman came out, as a kid who waited in line to
Right.
go see that movie, and it was for me one of like the first times that we took a superhero seriously.
Right.
In my recollection, I loved Michael Keaton.
That's fair. Nostalgia is a
Batman.
mofo.
Nostalgia
that is huge.
for nostalgia reasons. But
Right.
if I'm really gonna get down to it, Ben Affleck.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So my aversion to Ben Affleck goes back to my childhood. When I was in 6th grade, I was forced to watch these science videos that Ben Affleck was the star of.
Ben
And
Affleck
they
was in science videos?
They were fucking atrocious.
But that chin though, right? Like,
Oh,
best
no,
bat
he
chin
was
ever.
like 11, 12,
Oh, what the
13 years
hell?
old.
I do remember that
They
he had
were
always been around.
horrific. And
Yeah.
I just remember being mortified by anything that came out of his mouth. It was just horrifying. So then as I got older and started seeing him as an actual actor, I just couldn't get past the science videos.
See, and
They're
I just
always
remember
there.
that when he started becoming more visible and in more things, I was like, I know that guy's been around for years. I
Oh,
just don't
yep.
remember what from.
Oh,
So
no.
I wonder if I saw those science videos, in which case, because one of my secret crushes is Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Boom.
I have science issues. So I would have really liked the Ben Affleck
Love
science
Bill Nye the
videos.
Science Guy.
So does somebody?
I have his autograph from like
Yeah, so does-
1993.
Does someone talking science just do it for you?
Yes.
Do you just watch Neil deGrasse Tyson lectures and just be like, hell yeah?
I mean, I'm not like you where I can watch things and just be like, oh yeah. But yeah, we know what you do. But
Stop laughing.
yeah, there's a place in my life for a smart man. Look at this. Look at this guy.
What are you looking at Weapon 2 for?
Because you've already said we're married.
Oh,
It's not a secret.
Spoilers. All
Yeah.
right.
I must be
Is
smart.
it a spoiler?
Okay.
Is it a
No, I
spoiler?
said
Good
it.
news, good news.
I did say it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a spoiler every time.
Alrighty, folks. Has everybody answered this
That was a
question?
good one. Damn.
Yeah, we all answered it.
Hey,
Good
when,
one every once in a while.
when T. Crawler's here, you should do Who's the Best Spider-Man.
Okay.
I think his head
Is
would
there really
explode.
a question about that?
Well, he's going to say Spider-Verse,
Yeah,
obviously.
Well, that's what I said,
yeah.
his
Who,
head would- he'd start
Miles Morales.
twitching
That's what he's going to say.
and-
In Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Only Spider-Verse
You know,
version.
Joey, he's okay. It's okay for him to have that opinion.
It sure is.
Absolutely. Stop opinion shaming.
Oh, I
Not
hear ya.
opinion shaming.
Okay, next.
So here's the
number
deal.
three.
On this one, you're going to be one of these two super geniuses. Okay? You can be Dr. Doom or Lex Luthor, and why?
Oh.
Super genius, evil super villain genius.
Damn it. Okay, so the hardcore DC guy inside of me is almost not letting this come out. Like I'm Doom.
Because you're gonna say the
Doom.
same
No,
thing I'm gonna
Dr.
say.
Doom.
And that's Dr.
It
Doom.
has to be. Like I'm so fuck.
Yep.
It has to be Doom.
Lex Luthor.
Fair. I can't even get mad at it.
He's the king of his own country, man. Come on.
I'm just gonna pick Dr. Doom because doctor.
By the way, if you've only ever
It's a science
He doesn't.
thing, isn't it?
He doesn't.
it's so smart. Show me that PhD.
Excuse me. He doesn't hold an official
Dr.
degree as any
Ian.
type of a doctor.
He doesn't. Where did he
No.
get that?
That's like a nickname.
Yeah, do you think?
Kind of
no,
like,
hang on. Do
kind
you
of like
think
Colonel
Dre?
Sanders.
Do you think
Colonel
Dre?
Sanders was never a colonel.
Do you think Dre and Pepper are doctors? Do you think they got PhDs?
Yeah.
Are they not?
Spoiler alert.
Dre's
they're
an
not.
awfully,
By
he's
the
an
way-
awfully intelligent person.
Yeah.
So people who have only ever seen the Fantastic Four movies might not know why we like Doom so much. But he's kind of one of the most awesome characters, villains in all the comics.
He's basically Iron Man meets Doctor Strange meets a
Lex
king.
Luthor.
And he's a genius.
Yeah.
Wow, folks.
Doctor
He-
Strange
he-
is a doctor.
He's the full package
Yes,
there,
Dr.
ladies.
Strange is a doctor.
He-
We know that
no,
for sure.
Doctor Doom is like an Avengers level threat.
Yes.
Like, okay. Fuck, dude, you are killing it this week.
God, man. You just make him feel good. You're usually like, excuse me.
Stop making me do math.
Not a big fan of that question. Okay, nice.
Oh.
How about Alias down there?
She said Lex Luthor.
Oh, Lex Luthor. She's the only Lexer. Okay. Here we go. If you were a hero, would you rather be the hero of your own neighborhood and or city, or a cosmic hero that patrols the galaxy?
Wow.
I want to save my city.
Yeah, Gotham, I know.
Well, Mill Creek,
right.
but
Really?
I feel like as far as like hurdles to tackle, that's not a big one. So,
And if
Unless-
T. Crawler was
unless
here,
there's
he'd be
something-
talking about his friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
well, he would have to save Tacoma. That's a loftier goal. So
That's a little rough.
That's a tough one. That's a tall order.
That's a tall order.
I mean, when you compare the galaxy to Tacoma, I almost think you have more work.
you
to
almost
do in
got to go
Tacoma.
Galaxy, right?
Hey,
Like,
not
look
that there's anything wrong with Tacoma. Hey,
No.
hey, what do you call people who live in Tacoma? Tacomites?
Tacomites.
I don't know.
Tacomians?
Tacomians.
All you people that live in Tacoma
I don't know the South
and you're
very well.
watching, we appreciate
Yeah.
you.
Thanks, all you Tacites.
There we
That was
go.
weird. What's Tacomians?
How about, what'd you say, Alicia? Call it?
I would say my city, but
Okay.
granted I
So
live in
Bothell?
no. Granted I live in Bothell currently, but I would tackle Seattle
Oh, okay.
hands down.
All
Then I'm
right.
gonna go
Yeah,
Galaxy.
in case you guys are watching, we're in Washington.
I'm going
so.
Galaxy. I'm going Galaxy. I want to be cosmic.
No, you
Cosmic.
already said city, so I'm
No, I
going
did
Galaxy.
not.
Yeah, you did.
I said what T. Crawler would have said. I have
That is
not
true.
answered for me
Okay.
yet.
Fair enough.
Rewind the tape, everybody. Rewind the tape.
I feel like as far as like hurdles to tackle, that's not a big one. So,
And if T.
Unless-
Crawler was
unless
here,
there's
he'd be
something-
talking about his friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
well, he would have to save Tacoma. That's a loftier goal. So,
That's a little rough.
That's a tough one. That's a tall order.
You'll go back when we're reviewing this. You'll see that I haven't given my choice. My choice is a cosmic, galactic superhero. That's what I want to be.
nice.
Okay, well, I'm still going Galaxy.
Good. Okay, there you go. Good
Yeah.
choice. That's a good choice.
Yeah, you have
We
no
will
choice
save
but
our
to be a
cities.
crime-fighting duo
We
with
will.
me.
We can save everything from Mill
I'm
Creek
just
down
gonna,
to Seattle.
dude. I'm just gonna make sure all the hobos get on their side of I-5.
I was just gonna say, just make sure that they stay over there because that's gonna
Yeah.
cause a whole lot of problems.
All right, here's the last one, folks. Number 5. What team you on? Werewolf or vampire, and why? Boom.
Captain Mal just came up to the microphone and then made a motion and then sat back.
Because I had an immediate answer and now I'm second guessing it. Immediately I was going werewolf.
Yeah.
But now But what kind of vampire? Are we talking like underworld vampire, true blood vampire, sparkle fucking vampire?
No
like
sparkle vampire.
it's important what kind of vampire.
Here's what we're saying. I want you to. This is the parameters. You imagine the most amazing vampire you've ever seen and the most amazing werewolf you've ever seen.
You get a pick.
And you get to pick one.
Okay, I'm picking.
Go.
You're hesitating. So
No,
I'm
I've-
picking. I'm going vampire.
What kind?
I'm going sexy vampire.
But like, okay.
Yeah, like
I'm going-
Anne Rice. Like Anne Rice.
Okay, fine. That's what I'm saying. Like what? Okay, I'm going
Yeah.
true blood vampire. I feel
Okay.
like that's the way to go.
Fair enough.
Okay, good stuff. What do you got?
This is hard.
Weapon 2, what do you got?
I'm going werewolf just to be different.
Werewolves have always
You
frightened
also
me.
you also went in the last this or that. You'd rather be covered in hair than be completely bald. So
So I feel like we're halfway there.
Yeah. What's the story?
Alias?
Story there, folks.
I'm going to agree with Hellstorm and go sexy vampire.
Nice.
So from where? From like what? Just vampire?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're just gonna go
Werewolves
there.
are scary. I've always been terrified by the idea that somebody could be completely normal and then all of a sudden, bam, full moon, they rip your throat out.
Yeah.
Well, and then they're covered in hair too.
Like a
Like,
a
it
vampire is
stops,
completely
like-
normal. Come on, folks, wake up.
But
Yeah,
at
but
least
a
the vampire knows what they are and like do different things.
And you could be
Yeah,
like
they enjoy being
to try and
evil.
control
They
it.
they enjoy being evil and drinking people's blood
I'm
and
not
killing
saying
them.
I would be an evil vampire. I'm just saying I would not be an evil
At
vampire.
least the
Ditto.
werewolf,
Ditto.
at least the
Ditto.
werewolf doesn't know what they're doing. The vampire knows
But
exactly
I have
what they're
control
doing.
of what I'm doing
And
as a
I love
vampire.
it.
Scary to not know what
But
you're
can
doing.
I add the plus that vampires bite your neck?
No, they bite, but they can bite you
Okay,
whenever
yeah,
they
those
want.
eat
Well,
you.
they can, but
It's
typically
weird
you
to
see
me
it in the
that
neck.
Killers.
do werewolves wear anything but red flannel shirts?
That's
Yes,
Okay.
they wear all types of clothes that normal people wear before they turn into werewolves, and it rips to shreds.
But I think when you sign up for Team Werewolf, you're handed like a certificate and the fucking red flannel
uniform?
shirt. Yes.
Right.
So
Yes. You get Hulk type pants that will always stretch so that at least your genitalia is covered.
Right, but not your shins and below the knees.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
and just
And
fuck,
every
and fuck
time
shirts.
they transform, they're wearing the same outfit.
Exactly.
That's
It's
the
their-
same colored
their
pants.
How many
monthly
versions
outfit.
of that same outfit do you
Oh,
have?
come on, folks. This is pretend.
Now you tell me.
All right. Well, that
We're
was.
not really going to be vampires and werewolves. Come on,
I thought
everybody.
this was legally binding.
We were
choice.
talking very passionately about it. Way
Yeah,
to
we were.
burst my bubble. All right. Well, that was this or that, and damn, that might have been the best one you've ever done, sir. Way to
I thought it was pretty fantastic.
way to raise the bar.
You shouldn't have
Good one.
said that. I'll feel
No.
like I can never match up to this night.
He'll cry.
No pressure.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is my peak. I hit my peak.
You peaked in episode 15. So-
Alrighty.
all right. So
It's all down here from here.
let's talk about some cool stuff that we got going on, huh?
All right. Well, here we're going to do our shout outs, everybody.
Oh yeah. we-
Here
that's the
comes our
end.
shout outs. Some of our shout outs are to Ronnie Pimpipe,
Yeah. Wait,
Doug Horton.
are these top fans or just straight up shout outs?
Well, I have to be honest. Full disclosure, this is the list that was sent to me from T Crawler. So what I think he's talking about is maybe these are new people to our to the world's greatest army.
Yeah, this was hard
who
to
have
read.
Just started showing up. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But that's what I understand
You
from
could
this.
at least still blame it on T. Crawler.
And we also want to add
Blame
Eric-
everything on T-Crawler.
Yeah, I know. I mean, if you wanted this done perfectly, I guess you should have showed up, huh? The other one I forgot I didn't add here yet is Eric Wickheiser. So
Yeah.
we appreciate you guys tuning in
yeah.
and participating.
I don't know if you're new fans or top fans or how long you've been around, but hey, I appreciate you.
applause.
Yeah.
Nice. All righty. So the next section that we have here, these are people who have been top fans. Cassie Carroll and Simon.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
she's been a top fan before.
She has
so
been a
must
top
have
fan
had a
before. I
lapse.
think she's just re-gotten her badge.
And she's been one for a month.
She's actually been a fan of our page for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to appreciate that. But she's showing again as a top fan for a month. Our next 1 month top fan is Russell Ford.
Yeah, Ford.
There we go, Ford.
There we go.
Thanks, man.
Good job. Ford.
Now for 2 weeks.
Can I try to get it right?
Yeah, go
try?
for it. Go for it.
Don't butcher it.
I mess this up every time. But a new top fan going on 2 weeks is Deb, a.k.a. Mischief Managed.
Only took how long?
How did you really have to read that?
He really
Special
had to.
guest on episode 11 of the podcast.
Nice, Deb.
I think she's been a top fan before too.
She
has. Probably has.
Yeah.
She totally has.
But so we want to thank all of you again. That's great, top fans. Now, Jace, this is woo.
Some consistency.
I did not-
Not in here.
You forgot one.
What?
You forgot one.
Oh, did I?
The newest top fan.
The newest. Oh, yes, I did
Can't
forget
be forgetting
one.
Weapon 2.
Andrew James is our newest top fan.
What up, Andy?
Hell
Top
yeah,
fan.
Andrew.
Nice
Way
work.
to go, Andrew. Now, this next section, this is a pretty highly regarded class of people. This is, man, I don't really know much to say about this. This is
It's a huge accomplishment.
a huge accomplishment. I mean, it's something to be proud of,
So,
folks.
so before you rattle these off, I want to say that I made a post on the Facebook page trying to encourage long-standing top fans.
You sure did.
Because the thing about being a top fan is if you're not consistent with it, for some reason, Facebook takes your badge away, and then you have to re-earn
Yes,
it.
they do.
Yep.
So
It's very rude.
Diligent. You got to be diligent.
I wanted to keep people on it, so I offered to give a free TWG logo T-shirt.
Did you just look down at your shirt?
Well, I thought I'm usually always wearing the shirt on the podcast. Threw me off. Anyway, thanks for pointing it out. Appreciate you. I made the post saying if you maintain top fan status for 6 months, we would buy you a shirt. At the time, nobody was close, and I really didn't think it would happen.
And now you're buying shirts.
Shit, and I'm buying more than one.
Shirts.
Nice.
6 month top fans. List
Good
them off.
job, people.
He's throwing out shirts like he was Oprah Winfrey, folks.
You get a shirt.
You get it.
So, the first person on this highly coveted and highly regarded list,
Also a Patreon subscriber.
also a Patreon subscriber,
Wow.
Dan Coles.
Yeah,
Dan,
damn.
way to go, Dan. I knew you could do it, Dan. The next one is none other than my father, Dave Hale.
Nice.
Dave Hale, good work,
Thanks,
Dave
Porter.
Hale. I knew you could do it.
And thank you for giving us the greatest gift of all, Weapon 2.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Really did a bang up job there.
Thank you. Thank you. The next one is Lloyd
Yeah,
Anthony.
we got more. Lloyd Anthony.
Lloyd Anthony.
Yeah,
Yes.
Lloyd Anthony.
Yes, Lloyd.
El Paso represents.
And our final
I gotta
one
buy more shirts.
on this list, yes, is one more left here.
Last but not least.
And that's Ryan Botcher.
Nice
Ryan
work.
Botcher.
You're all getting shirts.
Ryan.
Woo!
I will be messaging each of you to get your shirt size and addresses, and I'll get that going shortly.
Great
God,
job.
I love this stuff.
I think that's a great job. It does take Facebook doesn't hand those top fan badges away like willy nilly.
And they're kind of
it
a
seemed
dick.
like at first they did.
They
It was
did,
kinda
but
like if
to
you made,
keep
like,
it,
one comment
you
and
really,
one,
Yeah.
you
word
really
top.
have to stay
It's
interactive.
weird. Yeah, like you
Yeah.
get it right away, and then they just take it away.
You gotta put in the work,
The
folks.
thing is, yeah, exactly. And the page would not be anything without people interacting with
Right.
each other and posting stuff and reacting to what we post.
Exactly.
And so we super appreciate
And
this
you list off those names, and it's like I recognize them, even if I
Yep.
didn't know these people, because they are so active in the
Yes,
page.
they
Absolutely.
engage in conversation and
They're part of the world's greatest army, part of our community, and
Yep.
we appreciate you.
And you
guys.
make things fun, folks.
You
Appreciate
do,
it.
you do.
God, love it.
What would
All
we
right.
do without you?
Woo!
Okay, Weapon 2. There's a way we do things. So nom nom.
Okay, here we
Do
go.
that.
Here we go.
Hailstorms.
Hold on,
I think he's got more than he
Hailstorms.
thought he would.
While
What?
he's doing that, why don't you talk about the Instagrams or the Patreon or anything that you want to? Any of the awesome work you're doing under there? Any new
right.
stuff coming to us?
So Instagram, we are.
He did that a lot
still-
quicker than I thought he would.
I know,
Sorry.
right? That's all right. I'm
Go
still
for
going
it.
to talk. Instagram, we're still posting 100% original content. Everything
Yes.
that we have on the
Nice.
Instagram, we are making in the TWG factory.
Yeah.
We got
That's next to the
small
TWG
children.
lab where we edit the videos.
Exactly.
It's on
We
the
have
same
so
lot.
many
It's on the same lot.
in the secret underground layer. We have so many things. Meme after meme. I think we're pretty good at the memes. I think we've missed our
Your
calling.
meme game is on point.
We're
Pretty on
working
point.
hard. Yeah, thanks guys. So and then we also have the Patreon, which we are. It's new for us, and we're still working out some of the kinks. But anything that anybody wants to contribute, we are super excited about, and we appreciate because it helps us and it makes us realize that you guys appreciate what we do. So
It makes us try harder, not going to lie.
yeah. Gotta
And you
up our
know, I
game.
say every time we have one of these videos how much I appreciate you. It's just nice. It's just nice to feel appreciated back. Love it. So folks, what we're on to now is we've accomplished our most recent goal, and that was for our next our last 100 mark level, which was 200. We got 200 subscribers
on the YouTube.
on the YouTube. Yes, the YouTube. This is all about our YouTube subscribership we're talking about here, folks. So that was quite an accomplishment. That was exciting. Made us happy. We are also very soon here going to put out a video of us packing the box for Justin Duffy.
Yeah.
And he's getting his prize box. We're sending that out. All kinds of cool stuff. But you know, our next goal now is 300.
Yeah.
So everybody who's out there and wants their friends to be happy and wants the world to be a better place, wants truth and justice to triumph over evil, what we need you to do is share us, our podcast, and we want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We need you to leave your name and any contact information that you can give us so we know who you are. So when we do our next giveaway at 300, we can get you, because there was some people we couldn't figure out who they were, not a lot, but we want to make sure everybody that's ever subscribed is in every giveaway. So we want to make sure we know who you all are. Because when we hit 300 again, we're giving another giveaway. I'm going to post the directions for the giveaway again on the Facebook page. It'll be there when this thing airs, so you can read it, peruse it at your leisure. So make sure you didn't miss out on any important details. And that's that, folks.
Well, I do want to say, though, don't stop there. If you are subscribing and doing everything you need to on the YouTube to make sure that you get entered, don't stop there. We have extra stuff on Facebook.
Yes.
That's our most interactive place to be, where we're posting things and commenting on it and interacting with people. Instagram, we have our original memes, but we also have stuff there that we don't post anywhere else.
Yes.
and everything you can find from our website.
And also, like, the more you share our YouTube channel and, like, tell your friends about it and get subscriptions to go up, the faster the countdown, or not the countdown, the faster the giveaway will happen.
Yep.
The faster we'll hit 300, the faster we'll give free shit away. And, you know, we're happy with how far we've come in our progress, and we thank all of you for that. But we're always looking forward. We always want to get bigger. We want to spread the word and get more people into our community because it's freaking awesome. And
Always.
you guys are awesome. Yes.
And also because we're here for you, I'll let you know we've been taking suggestions for what people wanted to see. By the time this comes out, we'll probably have already put out a video that's going to be the top 10 streaming series. So you'll probably have already seen that by the time you see this. But that was a suggestion by Dan Coles, our Patreon, and we're taking comments like that and suggestions from what people want to see. Anytime you give it to us.
What do you want us to see? What do you want us to talk about? Like, you want us to make a video on something? Like, we also, the Red Sun Superman review was a request.
That was a request.
By
Sure
Lloyd
was.
Anthony, top fan. So, you know what? If there's something you want us to talk about, we will try our damnedest to make it
Let us
happen.
know. We'll see what we can do for you.
Even releasing our top 5 ahead of releasing the podcast
That was a
has
suggestion,
been a
right?
suggestion
Yes.
from somebody. That was from Amanda LaCroix. She suggested that, and that's been, I think that's gotten good traction.
Yeah,
so
that was a
start
great.
doing
That was a great idea.
It was
yes.
a good suggestion.
Yes.
Yep.
So yeah, the whole point of this is interactivity. We want to communicate. Tell us what you guys want, and we will try to do it. But any closing thoughts? Anything else we got to hit on?
I've emptied my head.
I'm just happy as can be. I've peaked. I've done my best. This is that list. It's like my entire life.
Speaks.
It's never.
Episode 15 is his
This is
top.
the best night of my life. It's never going to be this good.
Alias.
I think that should have been my response.
Right, exactly.
Best night of my life.
Alias, have you had a good
Oh,
time?
I've had a great time.
Thank you very
Captain Mom.
much for coming on.
And welcome to Inhale Storm. Appreciate
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for
Good
being
to
part
be
of
on the
our,
show.
of our
Fun.
Girl Power episode.
Yes.
And to all of you guys, thank you for joining us on this episode of the world's greatest news and reviews. If you've enjoyed, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications.
Ding.
Peace.
Peace.